Nelson Mandela, embracing diversity for global unity. Let me tell you this. Have you ever paused to consider how Nelson Mandela's life and legacy can serve as a beacon for embracing diversity and fostering global unity? You might be wondering, isn't it enough to focus on unity within our own communities? But let me tell you, the story of Nelson Mandela goes beyond borders and generations. Here's something you should know. Mandela's journey was one of resilience, forgiveness, and the power of unity, all rooted in embracing diversity. Here we go. In his youth, Mandela was a part of a community where he faced racial segregation and discrimination. This reality was starkly different from his own upbringing, where he grew up in a mixed-race family, a rarity in South Africa at the time. His personal experiences with racial prejudice shaped him into the man who would later become a symbol of hope for the world. Now let me share a true story. One day, Mandela was walking home from work when he encountered a group of white schoolchildren taunting and insulting him because of his skin color. Instead of retaliating, he chose to walk away calmly, allowing them to feel the sting of their own prejudice. It was a moment of strength and a testament to his commitment to understanding and accepting those who were different from him. You might wonder, why was this so important? Because Mandela understood that true unity cannot exist without acknowledging and valuing differences. His actions, both in private and public life, were a testament to this belief. He saw that by embracing diversity, he could forge bridges across divides and bring people together, even those who had long been enemies. In 1962, Mandela was arrested and sentenced to life imprisonment for his role in the African National Congress's fight against apartheid. During his time in prison, Mandela continued to advocate for unity and equality. He believed that his actions inside the prison walls could inspire others outside. A letter he wrote during his incarceration is a poignant example. In it, he implored his fellow prisoners to forgive their oppressors, stating, "I believe that the day will come when people will look back at us today as they would look back on the slaveholders of days gone by." Mandela's message of forgiveness resonated with many. It showed that true liberation was not just about breaking free from chains, but also about healing the wounds of the past. By forgiving those who had wronged him, he opened doors to reconciliation and peace. The impact of Mandela's message extended far beyond South Africa. His efforts led to the end of apartheid, a brutal system of institutionalized racial segregation and discrimination. He was released from prison in 1990 and went on to become the first black president of South Africa in 1994. During his presidency, Mandela worked tirelessly to promote national unity and reconciliation, recognizing that a unified South Africa could serve as an example to the world. One of the most memorable moments in Mandela's presidency came in 1995, when South Africa hosted the Rugby World Cup. The country was deeply divided along racial lines, with many black South Africans resenting the sport played predominantly by whites. However, Mandela recognized that sports could be a unifying force. He invited all teams to play under the South African flag, and the match became a symbol of national pride and unity. As the South African team won the tournament, thousands of people of all races gathered to watch the final. The atmosphere was electric, and the victory was celebrated by all. This event was a powerful reminder that despite deep-seated divisions, there is always room for unity and shared joy. But Mandela's vision didn't stop with South Africa. He used his platform to advocate for global unity and the eradication of poverty. He traveled extensively, sharing his philosophy of forgiveness and reconciliation, and urging leaders around the world to embrace diversity and work towards a more inclusive society. Today, as we reflect on Mandela's life and legacy, we are reminded that true unity comes from embracing diversity. His story teaches us that through understanding, empathy, and mutual respect, we can overcome divisions and build a better future for everyone. So here's what you should do. Take a moment to reflect on your own experiences with diversity. Think about times when you felt isolated or misunderstood due to differences. Then, imagine how you could contribute to creating a more united and inclusive world. Start small, perhaps by reaching out to someone from a different background, or joining a community organization that promotes diversity and inclusion. Remember, the journey towards unity begins with each individual taking responsibility for their part in building a more harmonious world. Let Mandela's legacy inspire you to embrace diversity and strive for global unity. Because as Mandela himself once said, no one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love, for love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite.